So it's time to set off for our last day's little cruise. And whereas yesterday the wind was trying to blow me into the opposite banking as I was turning around, it's now trying to keep me on this banking as though it don't want to let me go. Unfortunately, I did say we would get back to the boatyard early, and I don't really like doing that. Last days I don't like at the best of times, but having to spend them in the boatyard now, that's no fun at all as far as I'm concerned. So I made a decision we would go down to the Maltsters, get there for around 11 o'clock I think it was, and just nip in and have a quick pint by the fire, and then we would get up to the boatyard. Well, we go to Bolters first to fuel up and have a pump out, and then we would take it round to the boatyard, and well, I don't know what we was going to do then for a couple of hours, but the plan was later on to go to Pedro's. And so it wasn't a total disaster on the last day because we both love Pedro's. So I'm just going to enjoy the nice weather and the cruise. And I'm still talking to the camera because at this point I obviously don't know that I need to shout basically, even though my mouth's virtually over the camera. And Christine had an idea that we should go to the boatyard straight away, jump in the car and drive down to Wroxham so she could have a walk around Roy's. To be honest, I think that's the worst idea she's ever had. My idea that I said before about going to Ranworth, quick pint, then up to Bolters, and then down around to the boatyard, and then later on Pedro's. I'm sure everybody will agree that's a much better idea. Well, I'm sure every male would agree anyway. That said, if I woke up this morning and it was absolutely peeing down like it was Tuesday or yesterday, then I think I would have gone along with the idea of sacking it today, going back up to the boatyard and even going home today. But it was a lovely day, so let's make the most of it. And round about here I was explaining to the camera, to my YouTube fan, about when we was moored up this morning. There was a boat come back in as though it was going into Herbert Woods, and it was a big boat, but he must have thought he needed a little bit more room to get in, so he went really wide and then turned as he got to us and sideswiped us slightly. He just carried on as though nothing happened. He probably didn't even notice it. It gave us a little bit of a bang. There's no damage, but that's how easy it is. have the fire on at Maltsters. Alright. Have you seen the Admiral when he goes to St Bennett's? I think he'd had too much wine. I don't think there's anything in it at all, really. You don't see that very often in summer. In fact, I don't think you see it at all in summer, do you? Leaves on the river.
difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine, oh mine, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, it's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference.
This was to be a very quick visit, and if you're ever in the Maltsters when Ian's lighting the fire, make sure that he opens the window. If it wasn't for Erica, I think she's got Erica anyway, I apologise if you've not got Erica. If it wasn't for the other bar staff mentioning that he needs to open the window, I think the whole pub had gone up in flames. As you can see, there was quite a little bit of ash all over the place, and the fireplace itself, you can see the dark marks above the fire. It was actually flames coming out. Anyway, quick pint and it was time to go. Not happy.
My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment
at this point in the footage I was explaining about our little visit to the Maltsters, and our previous visit I had a jerk chicken burger, and just today they'd started with Groupon offers. Now, by the time you see this video it might be finished, but it wasn't too bad. I think it was $14.95 for 2 burgers and 2 drinks. So to say that it was £3.75 a pint, I don't think that's too bad. If you like burgers, and I'm not too sure whether the jerk chicken was on the menu for that, but if you go on Groupon and search for Maltsters, if you're down in that neck of the woods, they're not bad at all, those burgers in there. And then I was also mentioning again, why should I be the only one that keeps thinking about it? If you've seen the other video when I was talking about Ian and his having cameras inserted into various orifices in his body, well, I was explaining, well, I don't know too much about it to you, because as soon as he started to mention it, I shot off to the bar and let Christine with it. I just didn't fancy getting traumatised at all by his story. But if you are in the Maltsters and you ask Ian about it, I'm sure he'll give you the ins and outs. You have been warned. Just going round this bend here will take us just past our mooring turn off, so we need to go into Maltsters. reversing in, which is always the best way to do it, and bow thrusters don't half come in handy here because it is very tight. We're literally a stone's throw away from our moorings, which is right at the back of where Maltsters is here. It's about 5 or 10 minutes cruise from here, which will be my last cruise of the holiday. It's always one I don't look forward to, and especially on this time on a Friday afternoon, where we would normally, well, I would normally want to be cruising until the latest we could really, but never mind. Have I mentioned that we had problems with the heater? I might have done. So anyway, it won't be long now before we're back at the boatyard, and then on our way to Pedro's later on for something to eat. Pump out and fueling up done. In fact, it was the cheapest we've ever had, but that's basically because we haven't gone anywhere hardly, and we didn't use much diesel in the heater, as you can imagine. Only a very little bit when we tried to use it. I have mentioned the heater ever this week. We had a bit of a problem with it, but anyway, it's that's all water under the bridge now. We are back down in February, I think it's the 16th, and that can be cold. In fact, that can be blooming freezing. It's been frozen over at Ranworth before now when we've been down. Now Christine, when we got home, she come up with a cunning plan. None of our family would want to come with us in February because it's, well, my sister-in-law, she loves the Broads, and my brother does. My brother probably would come, but my sister-in-law would not come and sleep on the boat when it's that cold. So Christine has come up with a cunning plan, and I shall tell you about that in a bit.
Like waves to the shore, part of the ocean. The stars high above, part of the sky. Now I drift to you, I dream of a river, of water so blue, wish I could live there, wish you were here, 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 wish you were here. Like the air that I breathe, stars high above, part of the sky. Now I drift to you, I dream of a river, a water so blue, wish I could live there. Wish you were here, 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 wish
Well, this is so much easier getting in here when Evening Shadow's not in. It's a piece of cake. When Evening Shadow's in, you've not got much room on either side of the boat. I know they say size doesn't matter, but it does when you're trying to moor a boat up. And when there's others in as well at the side. There's the one that we're just reversing there, you can see to the left of us. That would have made it even harder for me to get in. Oh, there's a lot of references going on here. Stop it. Disgusting minds. So yes, we was back. Not happy, but still got Pedro's to look forward to. I'll go and find Jason now and tell him he can just get his lads on the fitting the heater.
Boys and the toys, eh?
Well, I didn't have to check the water levels, but I did have to pop down to Pedro's, honest, just to see that they were open later. So while I was there, I thought, well, I might as well just walk down to the ferry and check the water levels. And everything was fine. So then later we went to Pedro's, and God, you've got to be hungry if you're having 4 or 5 dishes between you. Look at the mummy chili chips there. That's just between 2 of us. Then we had a game of pool, and thankfully, at long last, there was a game that I could beat her at. And so, it's now on to Christine's cunning plan. The cunning plan is to hire a cottage in Wroxham. So we used Silver Cloud as a day boat, and as you can see on that picture there's plenty of room to moor it. We did check on this. I asked them would it be possible, and they said as long as we don't block Summercraft's entrance. I said I don't think they'll be using their boats in February, but I shouldn't block them anyway. So this is February the 16th, we'll be down here. For the softies who don't want to go on the boat and sleep overnight, this will be ideal. So this will be our base. So you've got all the things in Wroxham, and we've got the days out on the boat down to various places: Ranworth, Akelbridge, Lying Inn, Potter Iron, anywhere that we can get to basically within a day. Once everybody's had the breakfast, we can jump on the boat and pop off, do a nice cruise down the river, as long as the main rivers aren't frozen over, which hopefully they won't be. And so there it is, February the 16th, 2019, our next journey on the Broads. If you've managed to watch all this week's videos, I apologise once again for the audio. Using the GoPro is not a good idea at all for audio. I should know better. I've now got to go through hours and hours of footage from summer. I've not done that yet because I used 2 camcorders, my phone, the GoPro. So trying to put it all together is a complete nightmare. Anyway, as I say, I do apologise for any awful audio, and that was mainly when it was raining. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in February, hopefully.